Hi, this is Chatboxing. I'm Sean, and this is going to be another Deontay Wilder video. Just a kind of continuation of the discussion I've been having with Dream Chasing Boxing and a couple of people in my comment section. I'm not really going to talk anymore about what he's done in the past. I stand by what I said, that he hasn't taken on the best possible competition. He's missed a few opportunities, in my opinion, to prove himself as a proper champion. Although I do accept that I haven't really looked into it with great detail, all the circumstances surrounding each one, and I do know there are a few extenuating circumstances here and there, etc., etc. So, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, draw a line under that, and we'll move on from there. So, Dream Chasing Boxing made a video about like who are the sort of top 10 heavyweights right now. Now, I haven't made like a sort of top 10 list, but I'm going to basically say a few fighters that I would be happy to see Wilder fight, because this is something that I was talking about as well in the last video, at least the last one. I think the first, because I made two, I think both of them. Basically, that it seems to be the case with Wilder, to me, that people are saying he can either fight the top person or just basically someone right down the list. And kind of miss out the people in between, as if there is just nobody of any note in between. I don't really agree with that. Now, I'm not saying that they're, it's rammed full of like top level fighters, but for example, right now, obviously, Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker, the two other champions. Of course, those would be great fight. Tyson Fury, if he comes back and he gets himself back into shape mentally as well as physically. Aside from them, you've obviously got Luis Ortiz. Now, Luis Ortiz is the mandatory for Anthony Joshua, so that's probably unlikely as the next one. Kubrat Pulev, I think, would be a good fight. I would definitely give him credit for that, and I'd like to see it. He's again mandatory for Anthony Joshua, so I don't know how realistic that one could be. But there are, potentially if Anthony Joshua fought one of them, he could fight the other one, possibly. I don't know. As well as that, I'd be quite happy to see him fight again in his own country. People like Jarrell Miller. I like Jarrell Miller. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a bit overweight and he's quite unproven, but I like it. I like his style. I like his mentality, and I think to me he's someone who's a proper fighter, and I think that is a fight. So I heard Dream Chasing Boxing, you said in the last video, is he any different to Jared Washington? In my opinion, yes, he is. Jared Washington is, he's big, he's an athlete, and he has, a few kind of basic boxing skills, but I don't see him as a natural fighter. Not in terms of, I don't think he's really got the bollocks for it, not to put too fine a point on it. Someone like Jarrell Miller, to me, is much more of a natural fighter. So him against Wilder, he's not going to go in there and basically fold after getting hit with a couple of punches. I think he's going to take it to him, and I would like to see that. I would give him credit for that. I also think that would be a very good way for him to sort of raise his profile in America. Now, I think Wilder has been very poorly promoted. That's how it looked to me from the outside. He doesn't really get much recognition. People don't really know who he is. The opponents that he fights, no one really knows who they are. No one's excited about them. Someone like Jarrell Miller, surely that would generate quite a lot of interest, wouldn't it? I mean, he's a good talker as well. There'd be a lot of trash talk. All the media build-up would be very interesting and exciting, and I think the fight would be good. So for me, Jarrell Miller would be a very good one. I mean, obviously, I look at it from my perspective. I'm from England, so we quite like the domestic fights, and they're usually like big and they've got a good atmosphere. People are interested in them, so I think that's something that would be quite good for Wilder, both in and out of the ring. So that's one. Bryant Jennings, I think, would be a decent fight for him. I think that would be credible. I mean, he's only lost to Vladimir Klitschko and Luis Ortiz. Against Luis Ortiz, he fought a bit of a strange fight. He tried to sort of go, just give up his sort of movement and his reach and just get in there and, go toe to toe with him, which seemed to be quite a strange strategy. So he lost that. But I think he's still a credible opponent, and he's skillful. That would be good. Andy Ruiz, I think would be a decent opponent. He's only lost to Joseph Parker in a very close decision. He's got a good punch on him, got very fast hands, he's pretty skillful. He's small for a heavyweight, but he's pretty decent from what I've seen. I like him. So that's another one that I think would be a pretty decent opponent. Dylan White. Dylan White would be a very good opponent for him. Yeah, well, because this is the thing. Again, my man Asot God Gig, if that's how I pronounce it. Again, he left another comment talking about it, saying that none of the other American fighters could beat him, and I know that. No, I don't know that, mate. I don't know that because I haven't seen it. You know, I'm not just going to give Wilder victories over people that he hasn't fought and just say that he can, he can beat these people, so he doesn't need to fight them. I don't know that he can beat the three Americans that I've just mentioned. Now I accept that he would be the favourite in all of them, but I would like to see them. So I don't just think he can just sort of skip past them because he doesn't need to fight them. Dylan White and Pulev. You said Dylan White can't beat Deontay Wilder. Well, I don't agree with that at all. Now I think Dylan White is pretty decent. I think Deontay Wilder is pretty decent as well. I mean, I don't think Deontay Wilder is Muhammad Ali. Do you know what I mean? And Dylan White is no mug. I mean, he's pretty dedicated. He's been spending for years. He got banned for taking an over-the-counter supplement. Like when he was, he didn't really have a team around him. He didn't have much money. He just sort of doing his own nutrition. So he just took some, I don't know what it was. He probably didn't know. I think it's perfectly innocent in my opinion. So during that time when he was banned, he was going training with the Klitschko's. He was training around people like David Haye, Tyson Fury. Really picking up good experience with top level heavyweights and really learning his trade. He was doing a lot of training with Jonathan Banks, who obviously learned from Emmanuel Stewart. Then now he's in Canning Town with Mark Tibbs. He's really picking up a lot of stuff, Dylan White. And before he got into boxing, he was into kickboxing. And if I'm not mistaken, his family, I think his family are sort of bare knuckle boxing family from Jamaica. So they're fucking hard people. That's the kind of family he comes from, and that's the tradition that he has. Now, Dylan White is a very fiery character. He is someone who's got total confidence that he's a real fighting man. Now, he's not scared of anyone. He fought Anthony Joshua very early in his career with an injury. Now, people say that's an excuse. I don't believe it was an excuse. I think he did have an injury, and I think he's very inexperienced. And he gave Anthony Joshua a very good fight. He got knocked out. It's boxing, it happens. I think people are underestimating Dylan White. And I'm not saying he'd be the favourite against Deontay Wilder, but I think he would give him a very good fight. I think he'd have a very good chance of winning, personally. People are going to say I'm just sort of deluded or biased because I'm English, but that's what I think. And I personally would give him a lot of credit for fighting Dylan White, and I would love to see that fight. Pulev, again, he said he can't beat Deontay Wilder. What, based on what? Pulev has only lost to Vladimir Klitschko, and that was before Vladimir Klitschko lost to Tyson Fury. So, Pulev hasn't just suddenly become some nobody. Do you know what I mean? So, all the people I've said, Pulev, Ortiz, well, I don't need to repeat, I've already said them, but there are quite a few people out there that Deontay Wilder, if he can't fight the champions, could fight. Now, if for whatever reason he can't make those fights, it's not his fault, fair enough. But there are people out there that are decent opponents for him. And those are the ones that I'd like to see. If I could pick, I would like to see either Dylan White. I mean, I'm obviously a big Dylan White fan, so I'd probably like to see that most. But Jarrell Miller, I'm also a big Jarrell Miller fan. I like that. I would like to see him fight one of those two if he couldn't get any of the top people. But, as I say, Ortiz, Pulev. Well, aside from Ortiz, I don't think he's realistic option right now. But yeah, Ruiz, Pulev, all these characters. So there are people for him to fight. I mean, even someone like Tony Bellew. I don't think that Tony Bellew has a very good chance of beating Deontay Wilder. But it would be an interesting fight for him to come over and fight in the UK. I wouldn't begrudge him that. I think he'd come over, he'd raise his profile over here, he'd sort of fly the flag for America in the UK to hopefully kind of get a bit of respect, a bit of recognition in America for doing that as well. I think that would be quite good for him. He'd obviously get a lot of money out of it as well. And Tony Bellew is decent. I mean, I'm saying I don't think he could beat Wilder. I don't think he has the style to, but he is good. I mean, he was a cruiserweight world champion. He's got an underrated record, and he's very clever in the ring. And that I would prefer to see him fight the other people, but that wouldn't be disastrous either for him to fight that. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is we can argue till we're blue in the face about what's happened in the past. We can't change it. We are where we are. So those are the opponents that I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight next if he can't get one of the champions. If I've missed anyone out, I'll be interested to see if anyone else has got any other ideas, people he could fight. But those are the ones that I think would be good. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now then. Thank you very much for watching.